your live Facebook. Oko abe like a page, you know, comment to be another top. Oko YouTube, Despite Media. Despite Media. And those were the Muyopo. And then we also Ambrose the Watchman. Peace FM Online. Obama Chidom Wahana and now Brad Jimmy the Bayo. I don't know so much about you. Na me pamuchawo LGBT for no one more office na we he mesramo we he because na we bisa ya kan ra wama kwakwa launch e chese wama dom ho adi e de akere Ghana for say nampa wama ba office na we he mesramo wama se tesa no abe enra so mi kofie na me frefra na obi se da bia de no Nigeria ye hudu mu ha asoma na state hey Turning in alpha 0503721744. Is somebody be among so I the Okoso Supreme Court? Yeka say again application for review. And no, I get the petitioner. Now lawyer for Juna the name the two more. And only a ruling and now no Yawada. A Kokoba say the fair respondents. Chairperson demand the fair respondent. I am a bit Mensa. On to me, Conco Jina Dagami and Totonano. And now obey to me, Shano. Quarter to me, Shano Sabaka Jina Dagam. Naya Totonano. And then I idea a year petitioner. John Dramani Mohammed and a lawyer for one more can say that one more time of one say it one more call for review. It's a review no Casa Tintin and Gusua Cotti. I paid your mumu. Yeah, Becca said the legal argument. Oko a year the legal practice in the more. Legal argument I hold on the costo. It's a court on one paid your mumu Sabria review no. I judge your phone me no about Becca Mama Yonkron. It's a year anymore, one more quabu, one more quabu be Sabra. At the end of the Bible to Jado, the Bible to Jano. Binia Yabebo and I yet be crowd to Manaus with TV. At the end of weekend, no more ever home to me, but I don't see a Samako do a Yababeca wine. Now, can I was one hall? Now, veteran of the ministers. Appointment committee at Juma one more year. No, Minia and Yas have get to Namum minority for no more appointment committee in the son. The American say, "Oh my idea, oh my bomb, me idea na me pay your boycott." Say, "Wamutina muna, wamubo Juma, even though about to another court." So Becca year 2012 elections, you know. Appointment committee then. one more boycott all the proceedings. And now one more my majority for the pair. And that one more to a year as well for Yano. Go home. Men I'm no more yard game. The boycott to the many a woke the titulu and your gunner measure with your feet. They say BB cost one answer my boycott. I will boycott to the Otto Obama, no Cobona, man, yes, BB co ye and co ye. And it's about boycott to an and you tell me the Obisami historically in Yabako Semono, a new patriotic party MPP for 1992 boycott and a boycott, you know. Me, so Obisami and the Yamakan kind. And if you come, my young Faswabia, Maswama, and Faswaba could say, Ama. Iti manage, say, even though about what the man son that's so. Na a NDC petitioner, Candini and all their NDC, I know. Ojina mo de man this near call about we. A year 2020, about 1 woman's to Supreme Court. None crop for 1 more Ghana measure, but if you 1 man boycott to say appointment committee in 1 month. Because 1 more by Juman, 1 more by Juman Casa. Sir, a Frontier Health Service for you. Frontier Health Service for 1 more testing COVID-19. Our year Koroka International Airport. Never got just a way to be free, madam, for me or US or go 2 weeks. All economy and because Jana Kau say, oh, yeah, Kokotoka. Okodi 2 weeks free US about so Koroka. Koroka, you shine Jinabi. Frontier Health Service for you. Yanomedy here educational. Say, Yadi a BBA shed you may bin sa. Say, 1 more test. COVID-19 AD. 1 more test. Oh dear, but the back can now your baby and so. But as a sabbath my video Nadia 200.9. Your baby senior cock and a winning a bronze some so cacrana and then your baby sons MB. Questions and your babies have an answer no. With your wake a cray.
Very simple questions about lesbians, gay, bisexual, and transgender. And to pick your human rights brains. Are they human? Should they enjoy human rights? And will you provide social protection?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, the issue of LGBT is an issue that, when mentioned, it creates some controversy. But what I want to say is that our laws are clear on such practices. It makes it criminal. Section 104 of the Criminal Code prohibits one from having unnatural carnal knowledge with another person. So on the issue of its criminality, it is non-negotiable. On the issue of our cultural acceptance and norms to these practices are also frowned upon. And so for me, these are two distinct clarity on the matter, and that is what I strongly stand for. Thank you.
You want to ask? Yes. Mr. Chair, just a follow-up. What our colleague wanted to know from you, yes, you've stated the position of the law, but social protection was an aspect you wanted your view on. The law is clear, no doubt. But the law is there and social protection is another matter. He wants to know whether you have a view on that as well.
Which part of social protection, if I may ask?
The nominee has given his view, her view on the law, no doubt at all. But he wanted to know about the aspect of social protection, how you will react.
Well, I mean, why is homosexuality still illegal in your country?
These the social, cultural issues, if you like. I don't believe that in Ghana so far a sufficiently strong coalition has emerged, which is having that impact on public opinion that will say, change it. Let's then have a new paradigm in Ghana.
Is that something you would get behind?
I think that it is something that is bound to happen. And when that happens,
what's going to provoke it? What's going to make it happen?
Oh, it's the activity, like elsewhere in the world. The activities of individuals, of groups. I grew up in England. I went to school as a young boy in England, and I grew up at the time in England when homosexuality was banned there. It was illegal, and I lived the period when British politicians thought it was anathema even to think about changing the law, and then suddenly the activities of individuals, of groups, a certain awareness, a certain development grew and grew and grew stronger, and it forced a change in law. I believe that those are the same processes that will bring about changes in our situation. At the moment, I don't see that in Ghana there is that strong current of opinion that is saying this is something that we need to deal with. It's not so far a matter which is on the agenda.
Yamwa baby amedi ba mi menti dwumadi so woni 100.9. And then one man on betena se na ya to adwen. Onansis Kobi. Oye NDC Ashanti Regional Deputy Youth Organizer. Onansis Kobi abebefia. Sarah Sunaya Alfred Thompson. Oye MPP National Communication Team Member. Alfred Thompson Zobeba. Na ene kana wuno me twoma dwen ya de sibibe so. Ayana Ghana for bibi kwaso a momi enya adaje kakra ne ensu enfolo so. Ocha aye venti ne ekoso yi. Ensem a epiepie pa firi ho ba no. Eye ensem asi edi ho nkomo. Ade ba ko a ne kana wu me pesa me nu mienu ye nyina ye kama ye wuo. Because no kra ne de ye one. Ene se ye teka ne enu se COVID-19 ba ya just say edi enya ye twa ye ni hwe ba bia kura nyegi ene hu ko hia se ye benya adwumakuo bi a wombekọ ye Kotoka International Airport Kotoka wiem shanjina bia na womu efiri amanone ba ne eye womu ayekọ no womu attest womu ebe test wo kwa ya test wo ba ya test ni titire wo ba Frontiers Health Service for na ebeto bia say ebo ne nebo ade ne de ne bo odi $150 ade ema me ye hu interview me ne aye Dr. Nsiasare aye hu interview we wo Ghana muntie so wo fie ye ema ne ka say na wo bisa sa no wakwakwahwe onuguchi papa yewra Bonnie adekwasi Bonnie ho aha Kofi Bonnie ebe kan say de ekoso ho ne de ase wo mo chada ntiase because ye ka tester na ka wo mu nuguchi fu okra na COVID test yi wo ma yire wo mo ho aye test yi pa afi ne yesi yekoye no aye Kotoka International Airport yesi akwakofa enkrofobia from aye Frontier Health Service. Well, no problem ne ho o de ye nto aso en afi vet nduru ho ne yekobisa health minister say masa Frontiers for no mo ba ye ne ho sem kan te sen ya o say awe bi de binim ho hwi o hey ya COVID-19 ho ehihye health minister o say on de ejo nim ho hwi okay yakokofre ya maame Shelley Ayoko Botwe enkane na wo ye foreign affairs minister ne yasa bowudin inti betinamu ade ane so fa ye Kotoka wiem shanjina bia dia foreign affairs ye firi mu a enye yie because amanone fo ne ye ka o masem ono so ye bisa na o say awe Mr. Chairman, I wasn't consulted. $150 and I say Mr. Chairman, I wasn't consulted. That's all. Okay, what dear, don't worry. What dear Jina baby? Afei, Sarah Joasafwa. They didn't quenya Safo. Sarah Joasafo. Also, dear, procurement ministry where one adimutinti mine. It's a yet procurement processes in the dear Baba for when him. You be son also. Oh, dim who you. Hey, Masa. Yet Hannah Yakanya as a dear. No boy yet because ye research and would your neck cost a man who will be so including Kenya, Africa. Now one more a year be. I'm you who sikan one more na says why naka finance minister never betray yen ade na mu yi ana say why na ye be frɛ ni bi mu because ade no ye pay information na wo ho eti wo a wo so ye Ghana ni a wutie me enkomode yi wodi wani ade akire bibisa wo wodi wani ade akire frontiers fo o ma ba be hye hoi na Ghana a lawyer for week when nipa o distribute the catch around na obu fu a obu ebefu a mame kwa amano so na yeni hu komo kana wubire yeni honorable kwamena binta kando oyemrase bedwani e wo dwabo so na ohwe eye parliament dada na etwa mu na apomudi mu nsam no so de ono a na oginam edema ye dom kuma sa abre no e wo ye yemrase bedwafie dada na etwa mu no yeni no ni hu komo Honorable, you want Hannah Boom to say?
Yeah,
Yet, say. Na, they say, ya walk with Bukakra, Yamamo, a year now watch your cacre. 3 weeks ago, say Yasuana, so far, and Rama Air saying,
oh, Damia,
okay. Vetina air course to teach you the Ayafra war. Efa eye Frontiers Health Service for year. Ade beto dwai Health Minister. Panifo bisa na. Ose Mr. Chairman. Ade na shada ehnimuchi you. Foreign Affairs. And also say she wasn't consulted. Iti through sikatu ademu. Ya bisa procurement minister then. And Canadian no procurement officer. And also say ade onim hoje. Esa me ba beto dwa no eto say.
Yo, you can make sure when you now, may I commenting on this one because now, come on, don't now, our president committee, we are moving on to the last 5 million of government and especially what is now, we know in summary, no, yeah, because the extra, I'm buying cry, I want to make the ever saw a promise. Na abandi na awoso na abandi mu nkrofo na especially cabinet ministers no so bi so dia na ko so mu hwe ya so mu hwe ya ye tra ni se sa abai no eye abusia nchermfa ntoni na abusia fo na dwe nyema ho no ne cabinet dwe nyema no clear when you to be catch ya ka family of president government family of president obi no say yeah, can be a block. Oh, to me, Enya Abanya, study Jabia, so taking such decisions are study, yen in say your pandemic, now such a major decision. Now, because the cabinet ministers are to be out to them to say, as I said, and you will know the past argument. Either so then the number for another bush and for an unknown take it at decision about economy. Get us from you. Among your mamma, and it's a mamma, you say your success and as a minister into the behind your mind and under a particular minister. And you see, the dear and what accommodating absolutely Mubiano and under the minister responsible for health. Then you must say, Obia COVID, and now Obia COVID, now you're testing on. And you are accommodating safety. It is all to Obia beside the home someone. You be son of Obisa accommodating Australia, one minister, and another son. And you see, sɛ obi a ɔyɛ minister ɛwɔ akɔmudua nso yɛ ɛba appointment committee anim yɛ bisa no saa adeɛ wei na ɔsɛ onim ho hwee a na ɛyɛ asɛm kɛseɛ paa. It is what either say ɔyɛ on top of issues anaasɛ na sɛ yɛgogo no abaa no yɛ biribi ɛwɔ hɔ a ɔno koraa ɔnnim abere a yɛyɛ no sɛmpapanyin ɛwɔ asɔyɛ hɔ. Deɛ ɛto so bi yɛsɛ okay ebi a na procurement fɔ deɛ wotumi ɛmma contract abere a wɔnkɔ procurement process mu nti ebi a procurement fɔ deɛ ɔmbɛku mu bi obi a no sɛ de kɔto procurement ministry ɔno so mini ho hwɛ okay yɛmpɛ no nso ntɛnyɛ ebi a wɔn mu a wɔwɔ yɛmpa sɛ wɔn mu chairman ɔno yɛ ba no ɔmo biribia nso ɛhyɛ under ministry of foreign affairs nti ɔno so yɛ kɔkɔ bi ba no ɔno so esi mpa anyɛ yie na araba ɔno nso sɛ oni ho hwɛ nti clearly no deɛ kɛkɛ wɔn ne sɛ amamuo ne mu no president na wɔn so no ɔne ne nabofoɔ ɛne n'abusuafoɔ ɛne fa adwene ɛne cabinet no ɛne ne wɔn fa adwene because the health minister is a cabinet minister. The foreign affairs minister no also a cabinet minister. Even Daniel sector home part, when we are taking decisions, sensitive decisions that don't take it on a cabinet level. So it doesn't necessarily have to be in your ministry. So a cabinet minister, at least you have an idea about the happening in the other sectors. It is obviously only one here. Much lesser about a family affairs. Another say, you a cost for our home. Another say, this can only be a cost for book at a big cost. It will be a new one that the company wants to nobody in some manner of the other good. Now, you are not creating that as a matter of the answer. The year one so I never back. What can you? If I want to minority on health and about to be a press conference, say, car antigen testing, also a man would go to be more. If we get as low as $7. I want to know there's nowhere in the world I hear antigen test that they give $150. Oh, Pierre, you over the year, no. Can I post?
But and only the Oka so be and be no yene a presidential advisor on health. Ye Dr. Insiansare. Ye program so yanene kasai. Amane chiremu se emfidie pa egu kotoka wiem hyen ho ene kwan omo fa so ye omo test no e danso. It's $150 in the SFata. Oh, Bobo say.
Can it then be serious for one as a country? The important aspect it should be the most prioritized. The health of the nation and the wealth of the nation. What men can tell me something previous? Then I go to the international airport. Antigen test like no. Obi after the only recognized about no. Or no one to do it in India for. What are you telling me? In any case, the end product in the end product is the elected. Here we say we are negative as a positive. So ultimately, as long as something genetic, now to get a member now $150. $7, something which is now $150. Now you can you can identify. Our minister designated for health by any because say or minister or laboratory and that's only you know. So that's not kind. Automatically, for the president of the DNC, you want to permanent charge $150. And the question is that so testing more than our money within the pandemic. And the good before and now America testing before. And then the only channel and the other command the good. Now we have to come down with the one man command the good for someone. Please, so that's the anybody else, none of money in our area. I know she said, yes, you are buying something, your manager. You can't tell me something. Now, someone more, people money in your own key.
Na honorable educate ya kakrai Airport Company Limited. Adwumakuo yi ebi a wɔn nso nhyehyɛ mu no wɔn ntumi nye biribi saa no nkɔ nkɔfa aban.
It should not happen. Yes, sorry, I'm not going to no, especially when it is backed by government policy. Any individual, a private man here, you can decide, you can opt for it or not. So, okay, me Panama test, you know, and I'm going to yet. And no individual will be taking the hope and I get the test. Now, or no one, the baby, people have a home, and yes, I will. It's government policy says. So who to find another man on the other one? You must do such a test. So you can't tell me that there is no involvement of government. Okay, you can go on. And those sectors, any agencies, they are directly under government. It's yes, I don't see, but you have to watch. I don't know they are all evading that question. Yeah, everybody. Because why everything here they are not giving a extension of that 20 on. And they which is here getting uncle and it's that the one of search, and the car fast so that's not get the money back. And then I didn't get a company, anybody on free over kitchen again. I think anymore. And that is the more reason why all the ministers are running away from that particular question. Can't you ask yourself, say, I don't know, one question, at least. But I couldn't go first one, I know all of them are monitoring the proceedings. There was the first one to answer. Into the rest of them, can't they be to go and answer those questions, another particular question. And subsequently, almost all of them are running away from that one single question. The one that I'm young to.
Okay. So far, what assessment about Jumedia Ekosway appointment committee for Jumedia Womudi? Our Ghana Bashubidi Fiona Etel saying.
Instead of medical capture, I will have the opportunity to debate the report of the appointment committee.
Okay.
The Newman degree one, I would want to reserve it after the debate, with reference to airport and community, and I'm
okay, no problem.
Yeah, I have press conferences near there, probably but quite apart from that, the Akepiano, I would prefer when we get an opportunity to debate.
Bijitum, yo. You better say no be any bra when you're mine. Namishra. How you need 100.9 to Kanawu segment no any you. Eti ene Kanawu di ayehwe ye no. Eya antigen test and air koso. Ewo eye Kotoka International Airport. Na ekoban se ehun sembisa ekopie mu ewo eye appointment committee anim. Enkane procurement minister Yama Me Sarajo Asafo a say oni muje. Foreign affairs Yama Me Shele Yokoboche say debi she wasn't consulted. Health minister Nemo eye Papa Kwakwa Jimameno. Ono so say debi o ade no. Answer the name which is how. Ene Kanawu. Ni ayehwe ye ni fa ho adwe kire ni fa 050-372-1744 050-372-1744. Na media me kan. Se bibi ekoso a wo a wo ye temamuni o mamu ni nakasa no. Ese se obomoden a na oso ma wani di akire. Ana meka wohwe your public accounts committee wom dwumadi a wom dipa ebia na meka pena makai Professor Mills say 2009 o se Ghana for mu bisa me say no man yesika no kwana kwotena television echi obon ba bia yesika afa sabre na public accounts committee wom di dwuma gidi wohwe de ekoso wo court ya wunya dade entie ni nyina mpo a ya ka bia na nso watie bi The one with the ekoso no. Hey, na me nyonko pa bia send me message. Also Mac Jerry. How I wish say betimi explain no ama. And so Nelson the to aso no men can be gold me kaka ho pe. Okay, any onia me fro we chiro what it. Na explanation bi wo ho ana mache. NDC for the press statement about betum na making kind nyina Moses here. It is statement NDC one the about betum baba king kind this here na me the amount. Unasa Scorpion NDC Ashanti Regional Deputy Youth Organizer. Obeba ha Alfred Thompson MPP National Communication Team member. Inform you new way and I'm on Babidi Juma. And then we will need 100.9. So we take kind of na ya the abada we ye. Me mainti you made the year to also.
Utie oha extra punk no. Needs FM.
Efiora, me mwachi o Efiora. Yes on.
Machi o Efiora. Efiora me chia wonye so.
Hey, Ewra, enforce ma msu. What? I by force search ya me. Mo yem no.
Won so pepe.
Hey, oh, wa fi. We dey me pese oni Efiora bekon. Eh, Efiora we dey ye kwa sori abo. Ewra de. Mo kwa sori. Ye papa ye. Ewra de kasoro ho a. What? E be say wo ba hwa wa kraba kompo wunya. Onipa da sane timi koto this way chocolate drink. No ne yire ne mma edi nsuo hie twabia nom anopa. No wi a wasade bia hye fridge mu. Wo mako school pon a wasan ba be yi anom. Enu mpo da sane nka ne twahye mu pa ende ye rekore. Na fie wura beti ha. Anopa dio, ewia dio, enumre dia mo no makodew. Mo mame. Na mu wi a ma soro akotra so ndem se ye kosum ya.
Me say na dia ya late nso me yanke kabinje Efiora ye wi a yakosere bo fache. Ke Efiora Ruti fia say light bill no water bill ba wuntua bi. Wo boa say sika na fa koto this way chocolate drink na ba nom.
Na hwe me catch you play nya play fa. Say this way chocolate drink no. Metumi ato bi pa na so na me so mo ahwe wate. E de me hia ne nsuohie. Na nsuohie so me ntoi. Say me bufu a betumi ato bag mu a wate. Yeah, Efiora we nko ade ma abunfu. Me koto mi nhwe.
Efiora fi de ya bre ma abunfu bi.
Munyam sumponie. Munyam sumponie. Na mo ba ya trimodefo.
FDA anhwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atom se eye.
What? But dear Beckway did not Beckway in fact, and ne dear Ditchum. Adwaka no kure. Ebusafo re bi dia ba afre kurasa ba pa beka no kura ka.
Da bi o. Yenya hoho bi ya wo fia ha.
What? Fi say enna bekwa no hwe ni ne se ne ne de ne se ne chirhwam site no a. Ete se kurasa ba no a awo besra no wata de ba no bi.
Oh, ene ne de wati. Neat palm nut extract na me dia bo abenkwan sa.
Neat palm nut extract.
Ane abefefe de dirty apa woka wasemi. Eno bi na neat foods o ma chia gu chansi mu. Enti se dia mensa bre kura wa benwo. Na fe na me ko sai bra ko no abewoja so enko wo nko chi mefe ne nwa ho na me dia ya benkwan ani steam.
Oh, na se neat foods e dia bekwan abade a ene no ato manfo bre so.
Ebre do matimi so pa fi say abenkwan we ne ye gi adaje. Enti se wonya neat palm nut extract a umre kura. E say ababri so ene ode aye. Na nam kitua bi mpo a wo banu nkwan atafre won sa. Neat palm extract anase neat abenkwan. Nia e de ne say emu ohwam te say abenkwan ye nim dadaada no a. Ana so bie so nya dio. Wodo sa so mu hu na wabie so wo mra kura.
Neat palm nut extract. Oh, come on. Na oni bibi. What dear sound kwan we pa da wodi neat palm no bia be ya be kwan besro mi didi a obi abopunu a wosum ni ho.
Oh, wa so.
Me am pa didi sem bia.
Yo, oni amanfo amope bia no bia nko supermarket. Ani jom
FDA ahwe se adwede nkratoe mo agye atom se eye.
Cool, fresh and trendy with a new look. Makes you feel real good, that refreshing vibe. Satisfies your right just the way you like. Do you know? Do you know? Do you know? Ain't gotta do it alone. Specialized makes it flow. Anytime, anywhere. Specialized feel different. Always think specialized. Special Ice Natural Mineral Water. Feel different. Think special. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the FDA.
Utie Oha Extra Ponkno. Needs FM.
Yamo kwa ba de ba me nti dwumadi esu woni 100.9 midin de Jerry Osei AGYEMAN me kyerɛ mo de ama ma me bia ma kwafo na yɛde aseda bɛma ayekulun Ghana wo mo so yɛsene ayɛde dwumadi yɛde brɛw bɛma de o wɔ hɔ abɔmɔden sɛ wo bɛma ɔno ma sisusu yie na ɛno ma timi akɔnkan yɛ no nti ɛna kulun Ghana fo aba wo mo di nupa enura etibeboa ɛma distress yɛn ebiebie yɛn ntini mɛma nnoama etimko ye bema wuntini mu nya adwuma yie ne de masa de o how bebre ye na bebre wo etibomodin se ebia wo ho wodwon sokra na ye denden de ama omodin se wo benya kulun Ghana for products ya meba beda na di na de akire we wo mo aduro bi dia no so boa ema atuni din araba bazen oba kekaye na obehwei wo so meso a na waya se nyina ya wo ya bomodin se obenya araba bazen na wayusu araba bazen na boa wo mo watimi ye gina wonan so pampe minuaba na ama yen yade wan ketinketi bia tai tete mo no ni nyina no eto atumi atwa sara so na bema odwenso a emma mesrew honchon capsules kulun Ghana omo de abedwa mai so honchon capsules for baby to nonombi embiebie wuntine mo emboa na dwonso yo bema de se otumi dwonso na de tworo wudin udwonso saa tatatata na de tworo wudin enye dwonso ebeba kokokokoko debi enti uhia honchon capsules wo eye Mr. Kill e distresso stress eba wo so a odwia sebe ensi so stress eba wo so a okokete so a wunteme na stress eba wo so na ye bema wodampamu a oyere beda wo nchen soche na nso obetwe na no amanko yie eni ti wuhia Mr. Kill wo de wo ani nubena na ye Mr. Kill no bi na toa no so de efe wo ho no kuma bi utimi de bi si ukam utimi de bi hye obotom na chese bibia kwe na ye wo straw bi wo ho chese straw no wo twen ya na de tua eye pentu animu na wo twen wade boko mi na ma bibia timi akoso all the leading pharmaceutical shops so kwa obenya se nupa ya kulun Ghana wo de abedwa mai so yi obenya bia to aba bibia akoyie na se opesa wo fra wo ma 020 413 9176 020 413 9176 and 024 413 9176 024 413 9176 na woni kulun Ghana fo ni komo se de medical kire wo no okọ ba bibia yetom aduro enwo ye mayimo a obenya eye kulun Ghana fo product bi ato omadaro ma no mo so yasene ya yede awiadwumadi emementi yede bra wo neat 100.9 NDC wo the statement about beto abonte ma minkinkan mu emfa ma we na me mo no tofa e wa kankasa mu na ose etifi asem no NDC statement on attempts by Kojo Nkrumah and Henry Nana Boakye to incite the Supreme Court against NDC lawyers. In the course of the hearing of the presidential elections petition initiated by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama in the Supreme Court, both the NDC and the MPP have sets of lawyers who made the media immediately after each sitting to publicize their view of what has taken place in court. It is a process from which the good people of Ghana have come to appreciate to respective positions of the parties litigating in the court. Unfortunately, in recent times, the MPP team led by Honorable Kojo Nkrumah has been using the podium offered by the media to attack counsel representing His Excellency John Mahama in the case, and even going further to incite the court against the former Deputy Attorney General, Honorable Dominic Ayine. In addition, many MPP legal commentators in the media appear to take inordinate delight in belittling, and heaping insults on counsel for His Excellency John Mahama and the NDC. These attacks are characterized by constantly offering misleading comments about our lawyers and the case in court. We consider this a persistent conduct of Honorable Ponkroma and Henry Nana Boakye and their surrogate as unbecoming of professional colleagues who have sworn to protect the ethics of their respected profession over and above partisan considerations. The Supreme Court exists to do justice fairly and squarely to all citizens irrespective of political colors. And to attempt to incite a court against our noble lawyers is to debase the court's role and duty. We accordingly condemn in no uncertain terms this unfortunate conduct of the MPP to demonize our counsel before the Supreme Court. The truth shall stand, the truth shall prevail. Long live the NDC, issued in Accra this 18th day of February 2021. Signed, Kakre Samoa, Director of Communications. Where Yankrata ne NDC somebody about Bontini and say, we want to talk farmer one. The Yambo can say, I assume the ya Ecoswo, a way Supreme Court, Yenina Yedim, say, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and now, or the Assembly Crocodile Supreme Court. Now, one would be a lawyer for a petition, a lawyer for any a second respondent, or no sooner lawyer for Omoba Bontin, and Omemuni Bekasa, a bro Bishia Ghana Central for. Na emunu na Honorable Kojo Ponkroma, any Nana B, Henry Nana Boakye. Wamu ba bekasa ediama second respondent His Excellency Nana Dagwa Gufuadwa. Kasentwie nkuwa no mkasa edichi a lawyer for mujina mediama petitioner John Dramani Mahama His Excellency. Na no ana ndisi fo atena sidin ya musadabi ade we ekwa akoba wamu di efi ka lawyer for adwuma because wamu ekasa nyina Oponkroma Kojo Oponkroma honorable any Henry Nana Boakye omu nyina lawyer for ese so omu hu se profession ekuta omu dwumadi a omu di no ese omu di no ne kwan so kire se ampa oyo lawyer ni ampa na wama hu se omu kasantwie ni nyina no omu di bi de akwakọ sensen honorable Dr. Dominica Yenenikom nei womu kra kase beya anka Supreme Court ni sem bi okan ye na no Supreme Court twin term say contempt of court say webu court na nimiti ya womu andisi fo say no kure nie ye koso no airtime womu condemn na womu edim pefe say court no ade no kure ne ba betodwa na ndisi nkwaso Ghana nkwaso wey statement NDC womu de aba betodwa emu nchiremu na mediama we sabri ade a abedwafo no ewa ha Unasis Kobi Ashanti Regional Deputy Youth Organizer ono so aba beka ye ho na Alfred Thompson MPP National Communication Team Member ono so atena sedada Alfred bemo akwaba na ejese
nyame na adom
yede nyakopon ase
yete nkwemi na yeda nyame ase
good
especially with COVID wo beti no na wuni abako ahwe ne nkwa na obi esine kwema esi a all struggle to get it enra ya na yete yen nua abako Richard Dombo director for CEO for Ghana Railway Development Authority ahwe ne nkwa mfano currency
and we say COVID ana
underline
COVID
no he was trying to fight some other ailments and he couldn't survive it.
Wow. Man is shedding.
So much to say, no, I read the few struggle with the COVID. And see a bonfire so I'm on so a doctor. Na a bonfire ma obiara oti yasi mubia because any political color, any religious color, any tribal color. Ba na eba. Nti e best obiara say omonfa protocols very seriously.
Yeah.
na omunhwe na yembo modern yembo ye ho ban aban ne betumi aye na said there but ni nyina agina wo so ya wo so be ya ebe ye aboa ma bibia ato so yie nti ebe sire obia mbo modern na ombo no ho ban na ye make sure say ye nhwe nkwa bia bio because it's all of us
okay
who say unua or causing or a protocols no ho a na obo modern action as so say actually onhwe no ho yie because obia ho hia
but that's say mama call ayo Onassis Kobe Onassis ba hana bom to say
Jonathan
asante mantam bia boko
bibia dadi ahoche ne wo mu kakra bi menado empu mu de the Africa ya na and say the abese wi mu apart from buying a broad atmosphere so scanning on my na ahochire wo mu sa na covid so aba sense wi mu na che say I say so true me no ama ye ani hane and you know ego so ye ku okay then ya the American say covid obi no be butumi abo ho ban asense wa wo bo ho ban I mean ahwe no say nyina ye na yeso twedi amponya kopon so say onya ye moa no fa ye nkwan de me reso ha say the also me bia ma ye ma romensa
ya hanso de ye putu and no man
yes and dey ufam ukra ma share dey hu ba bia je say the covid them say she umukra na ebeyi na pie na so oni we bia betu bia dey enya bi say dey say dey na me wi mu dey and it no be koso abom pai say yakopon onye ye moa no fa ye nkwanche
okay good me that same abusuafo yi na me no mo ye dey intellectual discussions ye dey ba be share so ba me say say free Alfred preliminary na animu ne yenhwe one statement am kind from the NDC and ye kanawu story ye from the Frontier Health Service one yan antigen test e wo kutuka wiem change na bia ho nsem be kopie ye e wo ye the appointment committee panifo yesusu se bia aka on betimi a kire mu ama ye no wo mo kire se for now one ya de on betimi a bia ne so actually what initial comments be on home then to our major story
okay answer na ebe sha so mechia minia or 2.5 kuma se buy yeah sure say either of airport and of so ni nyina hu say your boy hu more than fine yene na ba asumbi
mama ye to na
mechia minia no ma omo Cape Coast especially central region and to be precise Cape Coast me Alpha Group ne loyal ladies of which I'm a board member no make sure my kesia omo ye ya ene ama jomahama original quarter o su nga
o sa
ye bo hu pa say 2024 sa no mbe break 8 no ye nim say ye nianu ma ewo MPP no ye be boy hu ban na ya jumaden na wo ya wo be win elections ye kasapi na court na wo ko gina ni ade na ebe ma wa win elections NDC for sitting almost say
I also microphone no cassette
ya na ye incite court against them ukokasa no one can say yeah the only thing na say wo ya obi a be kan say you have to apologize no one try sign say ebia asema mekan no man kan ye we ko gina ho na wa can say they have a preconceived mind to come and give this judgment eno yemu nanabi ana honorable upon Nkrumah na ekokan ma wana wakokan wasem and once you've seen say ebia eye omu ana ebufu omu na wo de kokan sa no immediately echia wo ye no use the media to apologize say oh I'm sorry na the American ne de ebia man kan ye because na madwen ye menya na ebia mgbefu say ade na nko yan kwem ni ane ade because everyone knows say once I walk out na anko kwem there wo be dey yo if you remember very well 2012 2013 na nakojina court no asema okan say
nanani two others
omo wie case na ebe kasaye no assembly na okan o say even though ade na anko na afa no na oni omonye adwen no court na aka ogitum yema asomdwe mbra na ye ejuma na Ghana mpuntu obi mbra and people respected him for that. Into what could court? who kojina honi if you come out there omo ye good na anko ukwemne there they have a preconceived mind say omo be rule in the government's favor or whoever's favor Mr. That is why most of the time you can say, and if you remember Ashasiana Ayeni or your former honorable Ayeni or your former deputy attorney general Oni Ora Frank Davis court ne twe on masun e was interviews now omo granted him. No catch almost say once you are even part of the bench, you are not supposed to go and grant those interviews. So immediately now when who said
Frank Davis one can say
Ojai immediately because on himself on person overka can be in contempt of the court. Until who Ora Ayeni Unim say you've been a former deputy attorney general. You are a senior member of the law AE. Why? I didn't see. And I will feel say I didn't call in your favor. I say ukasetia bench. That's the highest law court in this country. Into ukasa, I say ukase ye. Na we a peninsula. I say won't say these are the things I young say admonish against the young ones. Omoba say is this the type of training now? You say my young ones no more no. Say if things don't go in your favor now, go and say what you like. Kasetia bench, kasetia judge, kasetia dia open. No. Let us talk and behave. In fact, suni and buying, and yet idea and coffee to me I can say, oh, I wish I could be like this man. Be ye manche. Because of your good deeds and the way you speak and the way you present and the way you do your things. And yes, appear. All we'll be doing is that we are showing a new generation. Say, and I think this court has been very, very lenient with a lot of things. Very, very lenient. Because Yama Pia, Casa Pia, Moka, Etia court. The behavior and everything of what has gone on in this last court session. When we say, they want to make sure that at the end of all this, there's a reconciled nation or the reconciled parties that will come together to make sure that we have a lovely nation where we can both work and make sure the good of this country is at heart. Into your best way, opposite side now, almost to say, no. Yenim say, we dia a yedding. We are and yedday. But we didn't kunima a yedday. Omen didn't kunim, the cockles, real hustle, because they couldn't present their facts and their figures right. Up to now, you to me who figure be the challenge because all the things they are bringing in the case are things that are coming from what they've picked from the Electoral Commission. You expect to say, because a miankasa metabolation A, B, C, D na minyai. As against ECD A, B, C, D, NCOE. Then they pick them and they can now instruct the EC say, Monfa mo pink sheets in brand and tablet in share. The tablet ria that you who say EC 84. But mean to me, yes, sir. Ora, mo general secretary obetina egwenumun. Ye bisa no say on ye petitioner into se bibinia omunko bisa petitioner. Ora bakwa yes original strong room no making sure say ye nwie omo ye bibia be kosin bia. Okotina ho no ye bisa no say adenti na wo fi ho. O say ye man ti wie na o say ye first o say ye instructor no. Say oni Mahama ora Mahama nkokasa. Na ye on share fault and mistakes are ewo pink sheet no more. Meanwhile, no, all can say you're instructing no. Maybe say na say easy hasn't got the authority to instruct you or say or suggest a chair no. Until when we say in and out they keep on fumbling and making mistakes. Your best realm. Or mine ni and I share. When to me I'm presenting more case here. Mumbeka say, oh, ABI more ABCD, but because they want their supporters to still feel say, oh yes. Omo ye jumapa omo kwama nation no person omo gu ECA ni ma say and omo person omo gu president ni ma say into no omo yes and they want to bring anything and all the things that are not true on board. The best omo omani ye no obi ahwehwe omani nkoso no obi ahwehwe. If they have the love of this country, then let us all work together and build this country. But see, they da yenim no, so sing they are best.
Okay.
The Ebola that is reigning said in Guinea, the COVID that is a pandemic across this world is nothing small to fight. They say yedi hadwem ba devoid of politics. Na yekun ekunya oda yenim no, because anything could happen to anyone. Obia otina ha bia wonnim ekina dia obetumi ate wo no ho. Yes, renyame, yes, reyen ho. Say yen boy ho ban na de ni yeye. Because we need each other to build a nation. You cannot build a nation alone. And you cannot be the sole benefactor in a nation. Yen nyina ye boy ho ban a na yetinema na ebetumi esi oman mpuntu kesiye diabe.
Okay, but that's it. Maminko Onassis. Also, two issues in the
yeah, I mean, quick one.
There was a second issue.
Yeah, that was frontiers. You know,
quick.
So I don't know one comment here. And
are you interested?
Okay, so 2 minutes. Maybe 2 minutes to comment.
Frontier, me wa. Can me skip that?
Why should I skip?
But I thought we need interest to one comment. But one interest, let me give you 2 minutes. Okay.
The president formed.
I'll give you the time.
The president formed a team. A COVID related team. Almost sa ejumedini adiyina. And they are advising the president every time obeying Sunday speeches, fellow Ghanaians. You can't hold one person, but say sometimes once it's a special task force, dealing with that case. Everything resides with the task force, and that special team is reported to the president.
Without the knowledge of the health minister?
We will just inform you. This is a special task force.
Then health minister he was informed by the task force. Say this is what but
okay, say at the end of the day, he got information. Okay, so at the end of the day, he sought information and he got information.
Sorting for the information.
No, but if you sit down and you don't want to seek information, how would you get it? This is a task force. Anytime I've never can say they call women minister, they call her, they call her. They needed to form this task force to go all out and make sure that everything possible to make sure that Ghanaians are okay. Meanwhile, also business is going on because you guys said we had to do a lockdown for some time, and on more complaining and say, listen. And businesses say, because at that time people had not even studied how you can even sit at home and work. So so that people would at the end of the day, they will be able to go to work, or they learn how to work from home and let things go ahead. Meanwhile, they say, listen, you can't close your borders for life. You can't say that from that time I two borders move to date. But let's put in certain measures. Emma, you to come by heart until it's very, very essential and it's very necessary. Because at the end of the day, anything could happen. Anything could happen. Anything that us form a task force, you're reporting man every time. And it's not based on minister, and this other minister, whatever he's bringing on board. But based on what the task force is telling the president, the team is formed that, listen, the special advisor on health services near there, Dr. Siamoni team, whatever they are telling him and whatever they have to put in place, they put in place, they tell him, and as an executive president, he signs on it that, listen, let's go ahead and do it. If this is what is going to save our people. He cannot sit on aloof. Now I can say, my minister answer, now minister and share answer. When we needed to take certain measures to make sure that this country is flowing. Because I said goods, but I said nipa ba, I said nipa to me call business near the Nanyama back room. And it was affecting businesses.
Okay. But that's this.
Yeah.
2 issues.
Yeah. First one on the Supreme Court. At the moment,
Yatese Honorable Dr. Dominic Ayene, court citing a contempt.
I've not heard that.
I would say PCFM online. I report.
Oh, I no pay.
Court citing contempt. But
what time? That time they buy out. Na court grant na. When that room came out, no, but court start to time.
9. They came at 9.
No,
they came at 9. I'm coming. They came at 9 and they went back for 11:30.
What is the ruling now?
So and you really know
on the contempt.
On the contempt, for now we don't have because it was posted an hour ago with PCFM online. But
I was listening to the argument. Now it was still about the review.
Very good. The producer.
Yeah, whichever way.
We can confirm, and you can confirm it later.
What's I tell contempt? I was say
because any argument in a review. Yeah.
You see. Yes, so the animal court contempt is still in place. Until Kasa, I've taken one position. Ever since this court case started, I always shy away from going so much into the issue because many lawyer. And even lawyers have been reprimanded by the court. Was there not a Kasa, Alfred Kasa, or can we be about Dr. Ayene? Dr. Ayene has never been reprimanded by the court. It was some our account. The only time, yes, of course. So, but you say, Omokasa yim. Hold on. Let me. I mean, say, or no, wait. Davis, which it was even it was lawyer Yao Opon, and Frank Davis, and I know the two people are. Yeah, the judges in the castle, semi news file, the Ayene was about the body language. One of the justices first said,
the interview after the
but you see, it was the news. It was the same program.
I think
even though it was the commentary
after sitting,
the two commentary after sitting pronouncement. Just about the body language. But me, I don't know. Look, I take you from what happened in 2013, where, for instance, Sir John, in fact, they be or prison because of Ativiga. You know, look, whether we like it or not, these are people. These are people who are classified as lost on earth. You know, more where they are, I said, you know, look, you can see it as travesty of justice. You can see any IBA or the doer or the do. And until the do not necano. But what I heard from the era and some lawyers are saying, oh, it's not prejudicial. To the extent say, well, make it definite. You see, it seems, and I said, the idea, to me, Bobena, also to me, Ebosi. There two things. The idea some na and you be there, a baby there, a baby but one of the say koyi and asa nkoyi no. So it's allowed. That is what the argument has been. Whichever way it is, the judges know. Look, your static case, there've been several efforts by lawyers from the MPP side to cause more or less like a disaffection. You listen to the kind of description now. People like Nabino, my no shas politics kumase. A lawyer like a friend Shachuchi Kataho, a Yasemutia can be sure or no Nepimuanka, think of pair, Kabainanka, Ibiaco, Supreme Court judges, because I know you know why or no wedding or China, or Chile bin Madi. Uti in summer for your Ponkumano Eka. Clearly, it's an agenda. Let's incite the bench against these. Your friend is lawyers for the other side.
But a bench in a bit of insight.
Based
on commentary outside.
See, some of them, they overstretch it. They make Gianni the Biaffa more or less like make it seem as if. But you see, the good thing is that I just for no so muti. Yeah, discussion. You sure say because of technology,
social media.
The leisure time you need to FM online and answer PCF online. This year, no, and TSFS now. Okay, I said there was one BAC during the 2013 one. Obi make allegation against Kwakubuahe. yeah, deputy communication officer. Say what can't see me. In the actual fact, not Saudi and crying, and you know, crazy. Omuka can't see me or Kesben FM. It so happens, say, your friend no better, you just for him, not just say, boo boo, we do, not just a 7 o'clock, and see, this time around, there's a benefit for them independently, to verify, say, in some my air cast as soon as I can, okay, and that's one can. Now the right processes will be done. They are reading commentaries on social media and all those, so that it wouldn't take someone like Kojo Ponkroma and I said and Binum to push mope umunyaya kasana kabano nkesi NDC lawyers for nyina aye asemi ade kwamuti ni yedi nyina so this issue had traveled for well over 3 weeks now yegu so aye den ka no nkado pemu no asema ye ka kwamusi mu nyina so yemungu yenyese ye no so de no so ye de when judges the whole chief justice etia kunwam wajibre etia asem no osase no nyina so nti that is ye den ni nyina so asem ye nsem brother ne de the chief justice ye den o asem ye nyina nke kakra nke do kra ne ebu court no animtia especially when the chief justice no enya daje aja daje eti asem na chi eden kan enuti no ye nya ne enti asem ye ma asem no go through all the processes are what said they go through na menia me dey no nsi ho no adekoti aye court dey and on dey say you go so aye
and they say
ya kan asem anti you go so a what them catch there after they say frontier case nka onjai na still now cause so be kasa the kasa even nyina na review one thing the review nyina actually say omunya proper briefing and he's not in tune with their air course CCN. The air course nyina say as a matter of fact a member of the task force na yet for COVID-19 Dr. Okuboy no ankasa ababonti abeka say in fact the contract no cra there omunim the kwan contract of first so make a final decision and that what that they did as a task force you say almost setting out the modalities, the terms of the contract, and Omodema Ghana Airport Company Limited. So for them, the decision to award to who and whatever, with Ghana Airport Company Limited, and it had nothing to do with the task force team. Also, you can say task force team, or did you make the initial award and the minister, the member on Joy FM,
the former deputy health minister.
In fact, currently he's still a member of the task force. Even when he was pushed, was on here, he doesn't even know how they awarded the contract. Almost set the terms and conditions of the contract. And the question came, so right after that, what then happened? You didn't go back to the thing, and say. And then we say, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Abisha Vertical, so on our way. But consistently, the words now. Where the more use discretionary on our way. The Minister of Health himself also on our way. The Minister of Procurement also on our way. In fact, all relevant ministries, they are more down I'm say on our way. I'm saying a Minister of Aviation on Ghana Airport. And that city only be aware there. Obiaso yawe no echo fine. What is so mysterious about contract? You see, and they are hiding behind a certain emergency situation. Meaning, Jerry, the Procurement Act, a procure services. I will marry no one. Takes care of how to procure a service in case of emergency. And this is source in the world. Which procurement agency gave them that go ahead to do that procurement? Procurement agency. In fact, as at the time, it's a new company altogether. A company, and you look the way the vehicle is. It is registered in one offshore country. It has its mother, international company. Then they have a vessel, which is the frontier in Ghana. As I speak to you, these people will be able to accrue not less than $30 million since almost started operation. This is a campaign and nipa ba community and eternal in July 2020. Just few months to the opening of the borders because they knew what was at stake, what was coming. With that, a friend is saying licenses from Ghana Health, Afra, Ghana Health Inspectorate, the HEFRA Directorate. All those require licenses in. Maybe say. And what I think they go for a proposal say before this company buy na yin say KCCR e wo kuma say e di dwumadi aboa e friend say
COVID testing no
yin say Nguchi which is a government agency e born humodin pa yi e wo the testing of COVID. In fact, they have been at the forefront. Everything has been about Nguchi. And a DM pan after area, we couldn't have an offshoot, a subsidiary of Nguchi with expertise because I'm already nobody can ever establish expertise to do this job. In any case, you can come by buying. A bet to me aboa, a man can sell $150 now. You charge you know. Okay, swap from elsewhere. All across African country, none is charging as much as Ghana for. You're charging for antigen test, not a PCR test. Antigen, none. The highest you even hear of is $70. Now we are charging as much as $150. So the time president, I say the ECOWAS nationals in Ukraine, that's why about $50. So even if you're Ghanaian who has procured nationality elsewhere, what's would hear $150? And just say, why and the award the contract? We just want to know because see, enquiries on my way or mra. Yeah, we are for.
But I want you to say sometimes some policy decisions be it becomes difficult in TSA what do from now because COVID in the
so but
explained
that does not shield you from accountability. And no, yes, you'll be taking the emergency situations. And in fact, the procurement act, it takes care of emergency situations. So now to make sure connect source, but the right procedure must follow. Because we know, say, this antigen nearby, we've had a report of people claiming, say, or you're positive to meet you. Emma, negative. Just so you permit me. So today, you need that expertise and for a established proven expertise and yes, you na Ghana. In any case, will be 82 coin. Look at the embarrassment. International. If it's they find out say indeed amount for 8 year and you change your COVID status. Look at the embarrassment. But somebody is making huge cashing in a pandemic a year say so for me, I think that if the minority and we're many Ghanaians bisa for accountability, transparency, because everything clearly points to the fact say everything points to the fact that the new until a new baby also righted the wrong sana. And there's the opportunity. Who awarded the contract? Who are those who signed the contract? What is a copy of the contract? And also where is the copy of the contract? Because ministers in government consistently, I'm unaware. And to me, master. And you see, in any case, this thing that we even be discussed in a cabinet. You think that they wouldn't have had a cabinet decision on this? Even if a friend is a NIT FM, for the contract cabinet that has the health minister as a member, cabinet that has the foreign affairs minister as a member, would have had an insight into this, except say, go forward, hide and you might be a few. Into no, Alfred, no matter how you look at this whole thing, the truth of it is that this contract is thinking. The truth of it is that this contract is a rip-off. The truth of it is this contract is corrupt. Your friends are rated contract.
But I don't know, kind of say, and hasty conclusions. And one put on one I will go out.
Thank you. You see, everything one to the fact
because as we speak,
to the extent that
the fact say contract details, it doesn't mean say it be a corrupt practice.
The fact crash say your boo in your procurement act, even our head, your friends say infra hefra events certification here in say. In fact, there should even be Ghana Standard Board, the first standardization of this whole testing. All these ones are not been full. Nini say Nyoma. And one is that then the foundation, right? Hey, shaky. Not even the financials of it, the commercial aspect of it. That's proving that across the entire continent, Africa, Ghana, and they charge the most. Which other country? Which other country? Which other country?
Continent, the last time I checked, Ghana was the highest.
If the next to Ghana, no, $70. The thing is that
the last time I checked, one man antigen test.
That's why it's even $40. It becomes $40, and what it means is they say we are being ripped off. I didn't tell the president that he so. I didn't pay the year. Is here after 8 months or so, no, or 10 years so man $50. I didn't hear. Say one and a World Bank packages in Libya Saba Bekeka. And I'm working oil money with the Babe Swasana. That tells you say, no, yeah, they buy $50 some months ago, you shall say now, okay, doable. The last time I meet here, Prime Minister, yeah, Gabi has some kind of say, oh, she's here there. Go for anyway, you know. Okay. Was it? Is there them so bad to the setup and everything? By now, no, they might have. I mean, be able to recover, and now it makes sense that they reduce this right. And you know that is just nobody can come. Or nim at the end anymore. Yeah,
okay. My young Kwani a year ruling now. Koso Supreme Court by discuss it.
296 of the 1992 Constitution. Yes, we are of the view that the applicant has failed to satisfy the court that new or important matter resulted from the reference to the constitutional provisions referred to. In the result, the application fails and it is hereby dismissed.
Okay.
My lords, we are most grateful. And as I intimated, I think that this is an occasion where the respondents
it is a constitutional matter. It is. And the practice which has been settled in this court is that you don't award cost.
That is true. My lord, I'm very well aware of that. Yeah. But my lord, I think that the court should be amenable to grant costs even in constitutional matters.
Please, we won't.
When there's, I'm not talking about in this one. When there is a continuous abuse of process, I think that it should be possible. Very well. My lord, I'm grateful and advised.
We decided to set a date for judgment today. Yeah, but our attention has been drawn by the registrar to the fact that an application for review of the last ruling has been lodged at the registry, and we want it to be adjourned to Monday so that we'll come and take it on Monday. Yes. So we want, yes, Council.
Yes, my lords, I was going to address you on that. My lords, this court has held that the review application, the stay application, etc., they are distinct.
Yes.
So it's my humble submission that irrespective of the application that is filed, I believe that the main action will be guided by whatever the court says.
I'm going to give a date for judgment, but then there is a pending application which may have some adverse consequences on whatever judgment we are going through. So we are saying that we will take it on Monday and adjourn it for judgment. So Mr. Amenuvo, what's your problem?
Well, my Lord, I'll be guided.
Yes.
I'll be guided. I'm grateful.
Please, there is another motion for stay, which was also fixed for today.
Yes.
Yeah, we will rise and come back and take the application.
Very well, my Lord.
The court will be
we are grateful.
Yeah.
All rise.
Enti abusuan ye call Supreme Court dem mu ho na ni nyina ne se eye enne na wotwe ye yawade twam no na wotwe te se na ruling e call so ni nyina ne fa eye petitioner ne se mo de kokodan Supreme Court se ete se court ne bomoden a etimi hye ye maame AGYEMAN first eye the chairperson of the first respondent no ba bigina dakam na wo mutimi toto na no no court na di anuye aba beto dwa eye yawada etwam no sa date na ye 11th February na sa ruling no e ba ye na no beto dwa pe na petitioner a lawyer for esan sorry said there be woman tiase o ne court no kwa adwen a enye ye to mbesan akobiem and ya woman canon in legal circles no say review no mo tender in application for review na sa review no na no nso wo mu kirechire mu die enti a ese court ne san hwe sa asem ni biem na no na ne eno nso adjudgefo no this time the court review na adjudgefo no mienu ba beka ho enti adjudgefo nkono no nyina no nso e de aba betu dwa se sa application no wo mo abo atoagu na eye yera justice eni yebo a bemtinani e de ma panel no o kan se enne ena nanka wo mo de ba be hye se wo mo de final verdict ne ba betu dwa yeka final verdict na chesa sendie na kasa na ebebeto wemanim efa eye your friends about the course of 2020 enne enna na kombe she date good and then na kombe she date na womode final judgment na babeto bia nenso applications foforo mienu kura na sesei no eboko because they no ba ko mo ba behwe ne ba ko ba behwe ne no eye your friend saying and now no eye ruling na womo eye any your friend say no so womo call eye petitioner no ano ya for no can say and that was Monday no Monday no ruling na call so no and petitioner no a lawyer no lawyer for no can say and so womo court no kwa adwenkrom no so womo file ho review na sa ruling na by na no yes na nka wo person mo san bie wo mo case ni mu biem legal circles reopening of the case inti no na nka wo ba be bie wo mo case ni mu biem na no na court no ensu tieti wo mu nyina no tofa bom no wo mo ba be hwe se ne no wo betimi aye de aka ho semti court na pagya ne mu a wo be hwe se no de ene wo be ka no na de afiri ho na pending one no nso eda ho no so wo ma hwe ho asem aka subsequently ye nyame ya adomo eno ne stay of proceedings e chese court na send you no ntwentwen so kra kakra na bibi fufuro bi wo ha e chese petitioner no wo mo hwe no makeka bo mitina dia e koso no ntiri aba beto dwane wadwe che 0503721744 0503721744 onases mama for one see ana
no, me demand was.
What do you say? Okay, good.
You also cross with the mention that you have been.
Aha, okay, good. All right, okay. Now we're about to be na young. Okay,
me da CP. Onasis or Eminia, but say osi abutre, ana omusi abutre. Governance. Na me can say governance. It sense you are. Na kobia benumbi. It sense you ninti. It's na mahama o mama the second term. Na make us no make bibi wa. And I repeat myself, say, committee a president for me, you know. ena omo hwe na omo de adwenche ena adwendwen no omo de bomu na omo ye bibia about that frontier. But you don't expect the committee to issue the contract. Any committee never issue contract. Into why wouldn't a hand what can I say? Ora, Honorable Okoboy. I bet church bibia must say, oh man, almost share the pros and cons of setting up every year, friends. Then
tax force, no.
Tax force, they are say almost expecting the idea. Now, yeah, almost year contract. Why so now we can say
no more just won't be meeting the standards.
Yes, on be meeting. This is the standard we want. This is what we need. This is what we want. Near there, almost year no. Na call Ghana airport. Why na we can you? Inti Bonia Maka Wahana. Any day. Ghana airport is an entity, and it's on the premises of Ghana airport. And as a frontier no omo koye juma. So you don't expect say committee no any formed entity no never issue contract no. They cannot do that. But Jerry.
They worked even without license. Then you said, yes, you need prepemo according to the health minister. Bruce, you say one more year juma for a period of time and no more some period be and no more need license quite to operate. Now, task force will have one more share and yet the standard. Not two things because a decision
which license no ga HEFRA certification
yeah certification
that's not license it's HEFRA certification.
Oh but according to health minister also they operated
to say only license to
they
operate a company.
Oh,
you are acting as if
let me
facts right. Let us not act as if I have the floor and I'm in floor.
Yeah, but we now floor.
But
so I'm quoting the words of the health minister.
Words of the health minister, but what I'm telling you is health minister, they all can say the HEFRA license near there so now they didn't have nonsense. So one bread.
My friend Kaza. I'm with you, yeah.
You know, even in a company, say the new company, say they can give you the award of a contract in idea for you to finish your all necessary documentations and proceed with your destiny. The new company
act
they are already called parliament or approved last year. No? You can have your company, you can get approval and everything to operate this AE and go and finish up all your documentation. And go and finish all your documentation.
Yeah, what thresholds be as a woman.
You don't need HEFRA before you start. You don't need HEFRA before you start. HEFRA, what do they do? HEFRA, do you know they are
regulatory authority?
You know what they are. You know the way they are HEFRA. You know the way they are. Who nima bisa? HEFRA, they are umbe say umbe check your vicinity. But do they meet up to the health standards?
So what does that mean? You can't operate.
That's what they come and do. Now you want to tell me that the new vicinity, is that the kind of Ghana Airport? Do you know that they have a clinic and everything there?
After your national,
you know Ghana. Oh, meba.
No, but don't give that education. Don't give that education. When you're talking about that business, hold on.
I have the floor.
Hold on.
So you don't have the floor. Wait.
If they had a special dispensation, fine. Say that. But don't tell me, sir, who need a certain certification and say a license, sir. You can just go ahead and operate because you have registration documentation.
You can ask permission to operate.
You can
ask permission to operate.
Where are we from?
Please.
Within the
if you don't know, ask.
Within petroleum commission license, you can't operate. Even if you have everything.
If you don't have petroleum commission license, what you can do is you can write to them that they should give you this time
to
do the necessary documentation. At their discretion, they can decide. At their discretion, they can decide. Unima bisa.
So that I can make
you are miseducating yourself. Please. It is Ghana Airport. I'm a contractor. Why do you not come and say as a minister? Minister, I'm a contract. Minister in my contract. The company, I say, dealing. And you realize Dr. Obuko Boy Baino, he explained how much Ghana Airport was going to get, how much the company was going to get, how much each organization, I think Ghana Airport Clinic was there, aviation clinic was also going to get. So it's a whole different organizations normal back together. They made sure that these people are getting A, B, C, D, E, F, and they can operate under the premises or under the AE of the either aviation clinic or Ghana Airport Clinic, and get your own AE things put together, because it's all under one AE entity. They are giving you their premises to work from. Until when you don't know certain things, you ask and you seek further information. Who nima na we bisa na won't be yet na hand to say I yet to say my wouldn't the echo you don't know. Wouldn't man can you way for government. Wouldn't the echo but na can correcting mistakes. If you government man because say the coffee me homework. Na my correcting mistakes. It's my assistant mon family view. Even election time, remember bet na say I big mistakes your friends even the free education mon whatever. Please, we've passed that stage. When we don't know, we seek, and then we are told, and we are educated on it.
Okay, that's now. Is that we can move on?
You see, whenever we go on, we've done this work. I started radio 2007. The one is started. Kwame Nkrumah to say 1 year. They will tell you all the way back from Kumasi. And then, anytime you sit on radio, all that you seek to do is to educate. There's always a strategy. Ocean are there now, and far now where you went, no one can not to. Now, you see, if because of some political expediency, now and no feel say also miseducating the public, you are not doing the public any good. The motivation for coming here is to help the public make a decision on the equivalent. But to say
educating the public, please.
You see,
I take serious exceptions. I take serious exceptions. I take serious exceptions.
Administration.
I agree.
It is totally wrong.
I agree.
You don't know what it is.
I agree.
Is it Alfred?
But you should further explain.
Let me say, Alfred.
The mere fact that you think you know something doesn't mean
it's a miseducation, because you can't tell me say to be here, Juma. What I say, Yantiana, your friend is saying, I see a close radio stations in down say, or more your friends say NCA license for more renew than your money. Look, certification, licensing. I didn't say my be so bad. No, go be Juma. I never go for the fear approach back where you do. So cry, just say your friends FDA for come out a license permit. Choose the other for license certification in that semantics. But in that chance, say when you to me cracker. Out the Juma. You can tell me say a whole essential service, administration of health, testing of COVID. Now Ubia sorry, no I Juma then without licensing. The thing is that yes, tell me say they were giving some special dispensation. And to go through. Look, when we do government work,
because another one, Okoboy explained this. I say that special dispensation, they were offered that dispensation because no one who say a emergency need anybody. Normally,
he and cry about this whole contract, and mostly it's not even about it's about the financial, the commercial. You feel that we are not having value for money. One. I don't say I'm a full business, but I been a wage, and even how the company came to be in Ukraine, questionable. That in itself feeds into a certain perception. Say, Nimpekuobi na come with Tibo just to cash into this whole COVID now, because of course there is a potent and well-proven institution, we say Gucci, who can do the job far better than what they are doing. And no.
Okay,
but what I'm trying to say, let's establish for if you establish say. Answer be the regulator to give you the pass before you do that job.
That is
Don't
correct.
tell me, say, okay, you register, only go for more company registration documents to go with them, but they will not be able to procure necessary licenses to operate. And you can never be given. And this is what they do in government. They just abuse the processes. They abuse and tell not why you must fumbia ne yamaye.
Oh, menus.
Of course. Why? Why village one dam? And then you be at the church of boy. But it will be a phone because the white village one dam now here. And then when you be minister designated for fisheries, to even account for it, she couldn't even account for it because you see, you know what has happened? Baby, why you here? I didn't say buogum. I can't say a waterlogged maybe a lake. It's just happy. Go to Kumasi. You baby elections. The asphalt overlay so mkoye na kaminim kaze a bit to me done potholes overnight. Go and see the kind of work that they did there. Okay. All because people who are not competent enough have been put in place to do these things. Let's we seem to everything.
Now generally you be analyzing vetting no. Generally me per se.
Just a quick one on okay, say here. And started saying complaints about Ngochia almost certifying Crawford who didn't have COVID as COVID, and that will change it for them.
So no allegations,
what I'm trying to tell you,
what
I'm trying to tell you is every institution there is a problem. So if government has taken steps in the right direction to make sure that let's let this thing flow before we even start having issues, but we've given it to this person now. Government omo mutina home for decision and they say omoni miansa na omoni hweyo, but they are looking first and foremost at the interest of this country, and that is what they will take into consideration. Munim ya na ka ye nka nche mu se mu kotena fie na munim omambu munim ya na ka ye nka nche mu, but it's because of the goodwill that the president has for the people of this country. And you see, another thing I say who say opening, he could have decided to me be my friends borders and I mean be airport, but he was opening it for the businessmen and businesswomen who really needed to travel in or out of the country, not for just everybody. Open floodgates now we'll go now we'll back because they needed to put in certain measures. What's in a why I would say all of a sudden we say 30 million from July to date. $30 million. $30 million. Sana sorry, $30 million. Sanka president obe this the borders where 5. Now government in $30 million over here, please. Yes. I want you come and say now that you are informing the public. You are informing the public.
Okay, but that's how you need 100.9. What you trying to be for 0503721744 0503721744. When I do what you try to be for now, you're trying to can be Biana, Yadiama will need 100.9. So Mukala Jonah said, "Ya Kerry, or say MPP, especially President Akufo-Addo, must be very careful with his new appointees. Why are they running away from the Kodoka C19 test contract? Why can't we be responsible for once? At this time, we won't wait for any mess to be called before we blame ourselves. It's MPP view to break the eight-year tenure and in government. So we, the grassroots, won't allow some of these self-centered ministers to make this 4 years unpopular. They must answer all questions. But if they are dodging questions, it means one thing: hypocrisy. And that isn't part of the DNA. So they must open their eyes or reject the nomination for the competent ones. That's Mukaila Jonas. No matter how we also, Mr. McJerry, so are we going to sit down as Christians and Muslims for the people to bring that of their useless homosexuals to Ghana? No one is doing anything about it, fellow Ghanaians. The energy we all use to drop the chamber should be used on this homosexuality as well. That's it. Where's the brother Jerry? So when will you know that Kwabena Vita Kando cannot help or can have that common sense he's talking about to help solve the spread of the virus? That is why sometimes if you interview people who always complain without any solution, I get annoyed. Jerry, if you can't want citizens to be disciplined and respect rule of law, please stop the opposition interviews. Nana Boaje Berlin or the Tanaka Kazavatre. But in Berlin, what am I? Oh, yeah, Bema Brako with Brimo Bragana. Where's McJerry? Good job. Congratulations to Honorable Kwesi Amwakwanta, Roads and Highway Minister. But my hometown roads in Kwakwa Kwesi to Minakasu Road. you ko where you go mess up too you go and what's the matter
but no say abutre kakra
I feel somebody declare year of road
you declare year of road na and this for bomb pie na yenya covid no and say see here this year there your bomb pie is a covid no content me year road me temper it's a munzo year road no
when say good afternoon back Jerry okra kwajo ekuapem abetema I say please we I say they drink water with cows. It's in it from when you be found abetema sir abetema na we here ekuapem region so okay Mate we say John Mahama knew very well that he did not send a petition to Supreme Court. The NDC delegate will not vote for him as flag bearer to contest in 2024. That is why he sent it with us. So contest so as the NDC for Munyai and Trona Moncano Kakra. So be a bit okay, but I say. But also message for 050372 1744 050372 1744. It's a court in somebody ever home a pendant ye share them another application and also on be a juma. Now, Onassis general assessment you go so ye share nominees are your man penny abo. Ah, one more ever. Come give me.
I don't the time
it's all but one assessment
so far which I said yeah the work of the appointment committee so make say may shall see an introductory way and make say in fact Dom Kuma what with your face so one man boycott so just because in some of the court, it will boycott the proceeding. No a year part of the term. Say no idea. A idea that we bought a year Moncroft Abaso or Hosa. Because on a basana, what him say, Jumedia will move dino a money year more effective. A why appointment committee. So far, with general assessment.
Yeah, Jerry, I think that's exactly what is happening. In fact, we share since 2001. Yeah. Vetting committees
appointment committee.
If I can vet na
yeah. What we vetting it one from vetting committee. Yeah, okay.
Osha we na year the most peaceful, less acrimonious, and yes, and maybe I say friendly, environmental friendly too. A year or more tenne upon the house. You know. One would expect to say a basana bemount that actually that relaxed mind that will be to me and they excel because I will share the course the other time at the point you could the exchanges between the chairman and some of the members at the minority side, then the threat of boycott and this animal. Now it was a tension heading share environment this time around, COVID. Maybe that's one other a year, innovative a year COVID. Had sparsely, sparsely distributed within the chamber. Now, my other assessment, which is worrying, the responses from nominees, how nominees are answering. For me, I've always said. Me ni fear dia me start me share vet no be no ya disqualify no based on competence or knowledge obi no about vet committee so once say ade ba e die onim hwe ntino ya mfa ma so akwaye say showmanship oba opa be pepa cho be kekan ya na obi no ba ka so obrofo nye nti ye mfa ayi ma of course brofo kan enye friends one of the criteria kan enye say ka producer no money made the position on my way. Obi enu aka so adwuma na kwakwa ye no. Wonim de wo fom. Ana yinti ya fama. Now, o share the SCA Nanado ministers abai almost about 80%, if I'm not mistaken, I say 60% they are maintained within their previous portfolio, administration. It's just a few of them now.
We're maintaining
Dudoni now. And you think what you expect and say omo attend upon the house, we are supposed to receive lectures. And I'm a boy. What's it? Because I acquire opportunity for accountability. You also tell them yes, our opportunity we with ministers. Ministers, I'm going to meet the press. More questions on whatever. Or more bad, you choose, and it's not even detailed. This time around here, it will be to me to answer best 6 hours. So it becomes an opportunity for us to be lectured, for us to be educated, as to their a course so or more a friend is a sector. It is will be to say Minister of Health, EBA appointment committee. Things like I'm unaware, no, and your language, yes. They beside Minister of Health to say, with staff strength, saying, you don't need to come and tell me some kwaba. You beside say, nurses for those saying, and now we could do within your tenure, Jerry, it's an indictment for you, the minister, to tell me, say, maybe the make a schedule about. Because these are elementary. Okay, at the coach cast will be an expert. Will be to me, Juma. If you do na 20 years, it was certain field. But the person cannot be termed as expert because the basic, which is data, information, also nya na or they teacher no they display no only. He said, if a consultant comes, no carry so be problem na bo amia. You can't help unless you always do consultation until the number of years no you man na wo hwe ni nyina no. Where is it? Obi wo ho a on hwe mo adwuma ni bi da. But the mere research I'll be into the field, no. Or kasa, you realize that this person is an authority because who Jerube friend of phone so. Now we put one or two questions. Look, it was through COVID, and the man gonna for discover. I say, "Okay, boy, good." And I'm a boy. It depends the man deputy minister. And the education that was. Meanwhile, so there were some of the departments within the health sector. Because I was quite hawking in the field, but usually. And why research and when you're that it is a woman minister. I was the minister for 4 years in a sector where you are the head, not basic information. So want to be from I don't think that you are worth even staying. You don't worth it because you are supposed to have acquired so much knowledge within now even telling us, leading us. I'm on our
but I was saying when it comes to recruitment, no money at the end, I don't want you careful.
It's supposed to be in your handover. You see, surprising or sending handover notes by a bulky one. These are so you see, no maybe to say or staff or bomb or that mean what I say. I think so in production.
Okay.
On the host. To obey bisan the host, you know what that cry now. These are even political questions. When you say during the elections, you know, these things featured. The number of nurses MPP for any day now. All these things featured. Two bankers who nima na chese now to share those answers now a course. So for me, of all the people who have appeared now, what you rate here based on answers, based on performance.
Yeah.
The lowest, I'm interested in the lowest. As for the highest, when you say amount for my popular, you say it's between Odame, your friend is say Odame, and Nana. Oh, okay. Of course,
your friend is say, me mama, what didn't win the answer me. And then we will be
how could see?
Okay.
Very deep.
Okay.
The lowest, no dear. Hey, Mamia, when suddenly, yeah. I mean, in fact, she has established Wafa a real position in the Wafano Kroje.
Oh, I didn't you know.
Now, the Chinese say, you see, a real position. Mammy, oh, I mean, 7 minutes.
That's you.
I didn't hear you. Shows will be channel. Oh, basically, oh, don't. No, you see, make it done.
Shan one can say, I'm your dining hall.
Nobody could, hey, that don't prevent to crop up. Where we invest, we go credit degrees here.
It's kind of one can say,
no, you see, one of the things that we do wrong. For me, my problem with her is not even with expression. In the language, she said, "O kasa bro, funyi nyina kasa." She am better am kai. Unya openye jukum no me no unya obetumi tutututu mu.
And say,
"Bro, funyi nyina be kan. Bro, funyi be kan." And no kunya language you see there are professors who can express themselves.
Yeah.
There are English professors who can't even express themselves. There are people who can also write
very well,
but
they can't even speak.
No. And there are people who can speak. But the professor too are mouse slangs, which are not even English. It's that's not even my problem. The problem is here. What's here and then my men not better now. You see, you don't buy a car so Jerry be hosty programming. Because we are a for within even the media theory. But the program now format also steady. How are you going to do it? Into the Oba, and that's even if you are turning upon an interviewer, you will know what and what really requires of it. Say, yes, you have NDC MPP for her. How do you regulate it? How do you moderate it? Yek bo di enye ufi special development one ever. Ni do aba bet na ho ti be do so bisa. Me say that questions answers there dey obi to say that what is special farming. You see, I say in a way because of
Samson,
you see say what is there you didn't ho feel one it's not be feeling, but you see it was exposing certain things because if your friend they realize say omu say the name there in the field what did it cost so too much because look the field beside say what are the three main subsectors within your field? Obi enka se koye expert in fisheries. There be Obi enka se wo fisheries. But what nimpa bia be expect of you ne say? Answer obaba beba there These are possible questions. You so what is the sector? What are the departments under it? Do you answer them? And then is that the answer? But if the answer that she gave is quite wrong because what the answer was the three three subsectors. No, I'm saying three subsectors. What so ufipuano? If you are even going, I will not even ask. But you all know say they are the artisans. Those are the canoe. Mom used to canoe. No, those are the small scale. The other one here. What's it? They asked, you see that one was even because that was the
Samson Ahina.
Was in a reservoir.
Fish.
Was it a reservoir? Was it rare fish in a reservoir?
That's a reservoir. Oh, that's a you are reservoir. And so good.
So I don't know to that's the definition. So that's the definition. But because about the subsect, you said beside say, and my subsector there. I mean, she got it even wrong. In one of the questions, quite the bisano, speaker, if you chairman can say, go on, go ahead.
And yet, women in fishing,
there be no quite there, no dear. And she didn't get it. Obisa say, where does it start? At what point do women feature in the fishing?
The chairman,
which and but there was one be Debbie and chairman who rather says so they are the selling point. Chairman can say hold on. And the causing confusion, which I think say Honorable Eric Opoku, Anya Charity. Why you charity? Oh, to be me back. Me say and a release. On a way. On a way for that. Because I don't know. The per capita one now. Let me say mood. The per capita is saying of fish consumption now. Eric Opoku di buy now. The confusion see why just for 2 minutes now yeah me now no me say a mood but the thing say ne understand yes or no account say she's not cut for it except she believes herself say that's what she believes but if ye fa nipa body mbo vetting and e campa in campa because an central bank kwa ye kwa mo Cynthia your friends Morrison cried. Oh, could be to me. So, Bana mo pay cry there. Every central region can be to me. But this woman is not cut for the job. Utie. Now you feel seaside. you so kakaya.
Kaswa.
The kaswa. Oh, yenya.
It's a seaside. Come on. What is
and she said,
the last time we checked, who's a cocoa beaten?
Oh, yeah, please, Kaswa, any seaside.
Side fine. Na ye chemu.
But this is a paper.
Let me tell you. If Kaswa hono, who call in the other side.
They go who? You know go No, you are rather talking about your friend, sir. Other one, English amount from. Is it English amount from when you say?
They have the seaside.
Now, go Muabia no only see.
But under her constituency, you have a little bit of.
No, there's no letter.
I realize only.
But that was that the reason why that the one only the I wasn't impressed with answers not the mind, especially when he has been a minister for 4 years. When say how I could say quite the well movie I could different even though he besides all accounted for the achievements well to be accounted for even achievements in her own
answers not mine.
Do you think no I say yes. Do you think you see when you attend upon the vetting committee? A question can be just one, but I think it's a lot. Oh, why am I okay? Make how I come see now. Why you are not comfortable? So when you do because go on the
building the point. You see, Oka Amakwata. We just
bisa who say
yeah.
Then na ye maame
Sarah Joseph
Odi just less than 2 hours.
Yeah, I said
apart from so or breastfeeding. If it wasn't
apart from them, the major factor.
Minia, the thing is that
because I'm for
there's virtue.
I'm for they were disappointed because at the Sanka said the ministry
there's virtue. There's virtue in being respectful. There's virtue in being respectful. There's virtue in saying, you see, those who had exhibited some level of arrogance in their discharge of their duty as ministers had it tough.
Now, okay, that is observation. What observation?
No, yeah, any part. Oba, you see, they will stretch you.
Okay.
So your guy. You can, you see, Godfrey, that means don't.
Godfrey respects more than
it's not, that is not even the issue. You see, you shouldn't even compare that. Left to me alone. Godfrey, that will last for the whole day. This is an attorney general and minister of justice.
Yeah.
That has been, so what is your problem? We enjoyed him. What's your problem? You see, let me say, you say just part. What I'm trying to say is, of course, you see, some of them it has to. What's the one back? Then the controversies about them.
Yeah.
I guess if we couldn't have, you see, most of them no mobile. Now it was about their person, what they have done in one or the other. Justify a can say a true to an animal or hide it under because a police station here. It was stretching, but I guess there was no personal issue about her. That's all had to do with the ministry, no. So the letter a year show, that's it. But see, there's virtue in being respectful to people. Okay. 7.
Right.
So we move on. That Makwata. Yes, Makwata I was expecting say Obaye nka Kumasi your friend is saying. Obaye say oh so amedie ye share moboyi. But now the contractors ebe go so na ke hu
rule from interchange na waka.
Obaye you see all this thing we be hearing them tia they did no kokra na boss Kumasi kwa na the obetia responsibility and chill. But people want to see action. So I don't know. Yes, he has his own problem with delivery. And yeah, I don't know. And yeah, then you come to the finance, health minister as my third worst. Yes, in terms of, and let me come to a best performing for now. Because I go for that.
Okay.
And then Yawodichum. I mean, of course, Yawodichum. Yeah, Yawodichum. What I see, And as an energy person, yes, I would say yeah, Napo, and you see, I was Obia Castle, and look, the committee had a difficulty. You know the difficulty they had, but the committee there was no expert in energy. There was no expert. Because Obianka, why Juma, energy sector, Kakranka, or men, Hassan Tampoli. Or no crowns will be some question, be and so it's just a and Kakre Bayan on the responses, at least according to the books now, wasn't disappointing. We wouldn't account say, oh, no, so I always tell people say, if you have had the likes of me say okay, NDC, when you're Pablandonko, when you're John Chinapo, who are the energy people, Namabua. Those have the grasp of this whole the industry because the industry is so technical. Say, why will be some question? Obe expose you. You know, I think that yes, said they are African. They could have even solicited for maybe no more pay that you know a woman. So those are the things. But apart from that, the
okay. My response. Your friend is saying, as usual, the media commentary now no after course sitting na yintie the courses.
Today's review application sought to demonstrate to the court that that decision was based on fundamental errors of law, which has occasioned a miscarriage of justice to the petitioner. And the grounds that counsel for the petitioner the decision of the Supreme Court on that matter was per incurium. Per incurium basically means that it was without regard for the law. And what law are we talking about? Section 26 of the Evidence Act. Because what counsel basically said was that, yes, we know that a party cannot be compelled to give evidence. That is trite legal learning, and we are all very familiar with that. But we are also aware of Section 26 of the Evidence Act, which establishes the principle of estoppel, that even though you are entitled to do something, you can be entitled to do something in law. But if by your own actions or conduct, you make another person believe that you will not do that which you are entitled to do under the law, then the law must not allow you to resile from that position. The law must not allow you to change your position. That is what is meant by estoppel. And so, counsel for the petitioner's argument is basically that, yes, the first respondent is entitled not to adduce evidence like any other party in court, but because Mrs. Jinadukwe Mensah, as a witness, had already elected to give evidence per several depositions in her affidavits before the court. And when we talk about an affidavit, we are talking about depositions under oath that the court should not allow us to ask her questions through interrogatories because she will be available for cross-examination. We were of the opinion that on the basis of Section 26 of the Evidence Act, she was stopped from resiling from that, and that granting her the right to change her mind will amount to her playing tricks on the court, because you cannot say in one breath that I'll be available for cross-examination to answer certain questions, and then when it is time for cross-examination, say that, oh, I'm no longer willing to do so. And so the court should not allow her to do so. And counsel today in the application for review argued that the court's ruling did not comply with Section 26 of the Evidence Act. In fact, the ruling made no reference whatsoever to Section 26 of the Evidence Act. And so, in our opinion, that was a fundamental error of law, and that renders the decision per incurium and should be reviewed. Again, counsel argued that the courts in another matter, the Sumaila Bilbo case, had established clearly that even though a party is entitled to give evidence in support of his or her case or not to give evidence, in that case, the defendant, the first defendant, elected not to give evidence, but the court compelled the defendant to enter the box and give evidence. Why? Because the court said that it is in the interest of justice that the first defendant, having giving certain depositions in certain affidavits enter the box to give evidence. And so, by parity of reason, counsel for the petitioner argued that that same principle should be applied to this case because the interest of justice demands that Mensa, having intimated to the court that she will be available for cross-examination to answer certain questions that are pertinent and germane to the issues before the court, should not be allowed to recite from that, but she should be bound by her own depositions. Again, counsel drew the court's attention to another fundamental error of law they made in their ruling on his objection. You realize that in the ruling, the court relied on Order 38, Rule 3E1 of CI 47 as amended by CI 87. And counsel's position, which is the position of the petitioner, is that that order that was more or less the basis of the court's ruling was not part of the submissions of counsel for the first respondent and the second respondent. In arguing or in opposing counsel for the petitioner's objection, they never made reference to that order. That order was rather suggested by the bench, specifically Justice Apau, because they came under Order 36, Rule 4.3, and Order 38, Rule 3E5. They did not.
Right. Petition na lawyer for no, and said the other the media commentary no one move free court to what. The Ababeto Sabre the court no a juada one more sign tenants and nature say, and also still proceedings and legal arguments, of course, on the court and the home. I didn't share Ababeto giant. A chief version the banner bring you more. You be chow Edward Tumba. Mammy call a Alfred. Alfred. Veteran of the ministers.
Thank you. Let me say, many on us say Casano. Obubo bongo forbidden meaning but Mubisame the vetting so far, me find in two phases.
Okay.
Maybe three. First one, how the vetting is going. Asembisa inquiries near the Omo. I think so far as compared to previous months and in Canada, most of no. This time we will say Oma very detailed about it because most of them no say most million answers nanado continuation of some of his ministers. It's just a few. Na ye omo ministries or omo certain other ministries near there. Into who say most of the time they are accounting for Ejuma omo ye omo. Into questions and information omo nyane ade a so for omo dey bisa questions. Say ekoyi and mebo a vetting committee omo ba so say they are doing their research very well. From both sides, who say they are asking very pertinent questions. Omu bisa nsema ehuhia pa say so omu bisa na ema omu ya select omu na ya fa omu say omu chia ministries so ana omu kodi ministry foforo no omu ye omu dwuma yi dia etoso mienu from the omu yiye ano no so far no omo ya there just a few na ebia omo into me nji bisa na no ye and mesrom and especially those who are yet to come that which will take me to the third part mesrom say obian bomoden eye no homework here because you know our ministry na wo ministry home put that na yema o chance na say bra na be chiaso wo ho a say what to make in Sempia, Acosonia, Afina, Obe refer, and now Obe than Ama will be for near there. Inti Meka say, so far no pa dear, Omoya dear, and your best say, your best empire bo, Ninyansa, Ninde, Imo, Mona, Omuntu me find ye, Omojume ye, na Ejumanunko water wanting.
Okay, good. Now, Yanshe a year from the veteran.
Yeah, mammy.
Me fa mo comment. Yeah, before I go ahead to my main farm comment on the LGBT. It's in summer about
ministerial, it was going to be question and answers. We won't say because we are in government.
But it's okay. It's that. Offense with general overview now the buy.
General overview.
Okay.
Question review. So I'm ready.
You are ready for it. Okay. Now, but maybe sound. Young share the same because more than more bemo. Security, military invasion. Into parliament. Any new year, a free Dominic Nitiwo, Honorable Kandapa, Ebabetoja. As we speak, they say, who is that commander who authorized the men to enter into parliament? As we speak, we don't know. And yeah, the ABS, we're taking it up. We say, yes, there has been a military invasion. Yes, a commander B, I will be anti me. What do you think? So, Omemune say you.
Okay. Say, na yet dia ora Kandapa kaye. Or say there's an investigation into it.
Yeah.
They mentioned the commander needing in a honor Africa commander no bisano.
At the commander no have any to you.
They be on to me, yes, sir. A security issue. On to me, in fact, commander did to just.
Yeah.
But or say or no or say
one more day at the children.
My catcher said.
Kandapaka say,
what's name commander? They asked him, can you give us the name? Also, he doesn't know.
No, no one farmer, but no Nakasa so approach. On Nakasa approach.
On this CDS. Oh, listen.
Master, or say,
if I Dominic need to even repeat the same thing. Or say on this CDS. Akasa. Na CDS not check or say commander, but they institute investigation
into it.
But he doesn't know.
He doesn't know the
commander.
What did he hope to achieve?
Great time. Sir, who is that
but
person?
You don't expect him as a security expert to be
so
giving
him out. To lie under oath.
Essay.
So what better say oath your cat own him? It's different when you say that. What on him? It was about 3 times. And you be so you could have lied.
Aspiration of the life of the 7th Parliament of our 4th Republic, we noticed the massive deployment of the military and police within the precincts of Parliament, to the discomfort of many well-meaning Ghanaians, including our own minority leader, who promptly issued a press release in condemnation of the massive deployment of the security apparatus within our precincts. Now, subsequent to the deployment, on the 7th of January, a group of soldiers armed to the teeth in the company of some elements from the Greater Accra Regional Command had the audacity to storm us. Had actually convened. I know at the time the technical staff, the coordinator, subsequently get parliamentary chamber.
A strange thing. I couldn't agree more. Honorable Chairman, I couldn't agree more with you. I mean, it's obviously a strange thing when you have soldiers going into a parliamentary chamber for whatever reason. When I saw it, I was also alarmed. My colleagues were equally alarmed. All of us in government were alarmed that something like that had happened. So I did take the trouble to find out how it happened. And I remember, it was that simple. Somebody, a commander, in his opinion, thought that things were getting out of hand in the chamber and that they needed to go there to try to restore order. I posed the question, to restore what order? Did you think your presence there was going to frighten the members of parliament? No. You were not going to be able to frighten them. Were you going to arrest them? No. You couldn't have arrested anybody there. So I asked, why? What was the motivation for you to have gone there? I can only say that this is something that should not have happened. I'm happy that, yes, they did come there. It was as bad as you say, but no harm was really caused to any member of parliament. And let me agree with you that going forward, this is not something that we should encourage, and we hope that it doesn't happen again.
Okay. It's we anu year or the Bible told you a fast military base.
As I can say, they have instituted an investigation into it.
Yeah.
And we a security matter, and it involves the high echelon of government, the parliamentary, as much as we are all alarmed by the way our parliamentary proceedings scored that day, and the way our military also invaded the place, once I almost say almost institute investigations into it, I believe that very soon they will come out with some results on the investigations are on my year, and we'll definitely know what happened.
Because issue of public interest, they say,
because
yes,
he was alarmed. The government was alarmed. The president was alarmed. Everybody was alarmed. I was alarmed myself because if you say, na military then na echo a friend saying parliamentary chambers other places in Bo almost fat chairs. Almost fat chairs now almost 2 bon California there. I think Italy also. And almost booty boxes near there, but it didn't mean say military call a halt just to bring in law and order. So yes, he's mentioned that it was an unfortunate incident and it's being investigated. And definitely, at the right time, we had the reports.
Okay, good. Now, last one before I move to Onassis. Which woman can say be a Sarajwa Safwa. Onassis say angle on the free buy no say ni dimi na wo share ni posture wo beti no mo no na e say wo mo jano but dia yet ye ne say enam so all breastfeeding ti na the ministry ne so genders the social protection back ka hon gender social protection
women gender and social protection gender children and social protection
gender children and social protection inti a broad ministry some your colleague journalists be cry expressing disappointed in a appointment committee. Say exactly money time. What do you think about that?
Sometimes no make us say who knew why you don't know what really goes on. And ye bibia so na bedroom for baba catch yourself na asem see and na dream aye fa no. I think the questions she was asked, she answered very well. She performed very well. And she reflected soberly. She said, she was ready for any questions near there. Normal in their own ways, the moment you said the no for now, okay. Because don't forget, say, even after the vetting, you can still call any minister to parliament to answer questions.
Yeah.
In the man of phone say, Ebia, ya prime minister, Ebia, or ya there, 1 year there, or can answer be one can answer be, and now I can say, oh, yeah, the documentation beba HA in just saying to me, Prime Minister to order. Parliament can order any minister to come and give account of whatever is going on in their ministry. In Tiambo modern yente and wase, the way Parliament operates. And then I think so far the ministers have performed well.
Okay.
In their own small way or in their own way, they've been able to give answers effort. You might not like what someone says, but it'll be for fruit here. Open the way Ebian Pakuno presenting on an IBB. I would say, anybody coming to parliament, your ministry, make sure you do your homework before you get there. Know the pros and the cons. Know what you yourself are. At the end of the day, they'll judge you for that ministry. So you tell them that, listen, so far, me buy we na me who say the former ministers are for the work they've done. When any problems I mean who say this is what you are going to tackle. Personally, by the time I may ABR in a year's time, in a 2 years' time, in 3 years' time, me person will judge me on this record. So that people can hold people or ministers accountable for whatever they want to do. Well, yes, sir. Or ma mpuntu be back because the end the same most you all can say here. My cocoa several times. Me who patos were a commercial the roads na ɛwɔ hɔ no so far. But on no claim say the potholes of the new ones are as far as I've been there several times. Kumase, in fact, the election time, election time, Kumase, ehona na meda because me come almost every week. Man ko cry 2-3 days. Na me wo ho. We hu. Ebi an if you name na potholes, I don't know. But so far me hu here. I think Amakata did a very good job by helping not only Kumase, we call Central Regional. We going to say some roads have been done there. We call Westerner. Everywhere they wanted to touch down a bit. And I believe, say, your man will not do no man. A Juma obedi for the second term, no. A beye in the so.
About also increment of road to our Gokai.
I know you're debatable. Debatable. He can't just increase road toll. Everybody to Parliament. Okay. Parliament will have to approve it. And I think interviews they talked about it.
Yeah.
Which one comes first? Is it the egg or the chicken?
The chicken.
I mean, when people start seeing that government is putting a lot into the roads, that roads need go year.
Yeah.
When you tell them to pay more, I don't think they would disagree. Now, the yesterday now the can say most of the road tolls now will be doing channel. I hope on assessing baby. You laugh about it because sometimes we go to maybe say, hey, nah, maybe I will say it is a crown.
All right.
And it's surprising to my They deliberate, but you have also realized and also not serve as more or less like a security for them to take because they're gonna for a stubborn part.
How much me Johnny?
Odu as a quantity that's what. Odu no go by
and they are going to because your speech
what's the automatic one automated one. You know, we got to be the boom grind and one.
Oh, but one more speech checks or it was a rap so no do
speech checks a been neat your friend is saying that speed a year or 2 years what's that and you know the next one Oko Kumasia
and Oka Setra and I said we dear no Kubase say you
Kubase it be new. Me sure say if you nkwana Tamamoto nkwana speeches. No, but me just say I say in a way no. The more enjoy and say what if driver be a do her or tonable. It is said what you and I just say oh yes we okay
Ejuma Sema ebe costing for Ejuma. Like they should have automated it.
Oh yes. It would do.
Whether we are president or
good, we are president of Krana, you pay.
Yes, before
you. When you're president, when you're automating it,
before
when you're automating, what you also need to make room to also more space. Automate and yet to pay outlet be now automation where a bema traffic either abba. It also Bemu to say the way of Bemu.
That is true.
Could be.
But it's just that
and but anyway, now quick comment on the LGBT issues about Beto. What does this?
Me. Yeah, me address for at the moment, the baby away. Our laws are clear. We are against unnatural carnal knowledge. I'm for can for you know them and for you know hefa. The thing is that Obi yen only them one. You know, but the thing is, and farm when you for do a sabi kafra mo no you o them. Illegal.
Chrono koso.
Enti uni go for chrono
legalize say
enye enough.
What they down there you dey say kofa.
This Western culture yeah. Omo person mo yeah. Yes, and also interest said you una mana also suspect so be into LGBT 1 KY 1 A+.
I say somebody QB
one is in essential one. Just omo yama. Also omo name mo akada na ni nyina no. E wo right. The thing say yes. Nimpa bia e wo right. The thing say untumi enna so bia susu say we assume think me call ya na my head. TT papa. Say nimpa no koche no in the acting. Say bi o say e friend say even ye cry ni etumi ene be man be obadai utumi nawo abonte so utumi enye
public no kra no koye na abonte
ya etiamra those oye no den so
bampo na wampene so na wo
o transfer so wa we ni kra no for the for the yes
It's the tennis say emra wo ho. Say uchi obi wo sa kwan no so a ma emra no ye de eno ne enti.
Okay.
Say obe only she your friend is a mob attack. E won so de that one we found on it.
Okay.
But you see, do any day no. These so-called people in this act, they try to play the victim. And look, I acquire cash cow for some people elsewhere. And obia ekwa not pay citizenship secure for asylum. The reason so I am into this art no na make man for any nyehunti no monye me. Na omo use no as a conveyor belt to secure a citizenship of another country. Make us a quick make us any park into this. You say, I didn't think that the Western world against bigamy. Say, you can polygamy. Say, ene, o file for visa application. To me, say, what worry about kumi. But proudly, in the visa application, you can even state your sexual orientation. Do na question bisane say adentina the European countries, the Americans, the ifo no enje eno yenso ye de na de entum rather no omo for so say yenje this practice entum me gidi say ba say ye nyina ye agya tuma de ba be yemra ejeyi. But after the mob banker says bound to happen.
Okay.
I don't know if that's what we are seeing here.
All right.
Maybe said yeah, because you're a mess. It make bold comments about this.
And what about Rahman?
Okay. Alfred, Mamenyo comment on LGBT na waka maybe any time my Alfred and Kazana.
It's an unfortunate thing. Say most media or start here or kasa fine. So I mean so baby the fine sir on access. Yeah, wo mrawo kro no mo and we have moral ye diso. Obi into me in fact mrawo another place mba say by force ye engine tum. And Obi can say you can't sit on someone's defense and right, but Obi also rules and regulations and even culture. In the Western world, work of fire a bema who worry now of fire another area. You say hey, work of fire mistress. Now even enumpo yasem what me 5 girlfriends be 3, 4, 5 only or more. Obi wo hompo ni mbabe 5 and 6 awo yen to me beside no question bia because that's the culture that is here even though by rules and regulations no I say wo want to me worry more than one.
Yeah.
Yen him say you can engage 2, 3, 4. You know, and our fathers did it. So it's become part of us. I don't just say be obi abe. In that same way no we know say it's against say wonya carnal knowledge of another person. We home. And in that same vein, your best oh your idea your day, your chua bonting your bema embra anyway. And we don't want this to be part of our culture. We have values. We have moral values that we cherish and we love. Your best. This is not what we want to teach our children. This is not what we want our children to become. Yakupon and then make kind of obey status or say Yakupon bo we as no obo Adam and Eve. Mambo Adam and Steve. No mambo Adam and Steve.
Okay.
It says they see how who's Eve. Who per se friend with Steve wawasem men fan ba yen so. Let us have our peace of mind. Let us work well and let us enjoy the little we have before our time.
Okay.
Men fan way in Bekan home.
Okay. Better must say. And then every one by Bekan your home ye discussions at the every one or your Nancy's Kobe, the NDC Ashanti Regional Deputy Youth Organizer na Alfred Thompson or the MPP member of the National Communication Team. Now my main committee for so now menyo so quick comment sima be you do kakre ya aka ye nimi na menyo so comment so far discussions are very intellectual discussions are ye no and they be also adwen kire e wo ho the same 03022435540 030-2243-540 and 030-2257-902. 030-2257-902. Mahe.
Ejo so honorable Mike.
Ezenanayo.
Ibi aboko na ya abo.
Yetio.
Mame mo abaso na area na ni outdoors. Piano. Na MPP banga. AKU ila bidi. Abrante of one of the MPP party ni mo. Onye yi ma. Se on ya no you am. Montesa. Odia no. I don't think you said in that yes. It's a regional secretary of credit special. Mike, Manentum and this is for an Ghana put you run an uncle for Onyena or Betik Atum, I want my what this year can come say, Sardino and Kaya Mamma. Intinya di Omega, you want my president Mike, on it. Solomon, you know, Mike, we want.
Casa de Tio.
On any quarter, so gave penny, you were mamma, the quarter situation. Say you were mamma, you were mamma, one young one, then you run another. Now, Mike, what was some message? Mess about that one, and also go home. Say, I'm more pressing, I'm in a letter from I'm in a quarter.
Okay. Okay. Meda say na na mame for for why na obi gina chire maha. Yeti o be ma.
Ya ele ti ne kasa no ko bian tawo. Ele di kan mame ti alo ya jon ko mame ha kumsi. Ni giri se ni sama ko so Ghana ha nyina ya Ghana yi. Ati dia me mesre Ghana fo no se ya fasida amman PP na Ghana pompo improving because we be amambu ya ndi ko betan reduce wa o ma ka kire se MP before say man no but they be make say ya ba yi me giri se me manya insurance ba ku school free and this over ka kire me say obi a sadi amam no 27 years na me nya fi o ma o ka kire me say ya say man dia just say we wa say ne pa o majari ya besre Ghana for contractors ni so bi but they ka ka no go ko why na yede magana ni ye no why na asay mo pani bi try na wo hwe kwan ye and the 1 year na ki kwan na say ya na yes ko to asre say he ya papa despot o start so you release to repeat ye say on tumi ye aye dia bi before ye ma ye duma ye ma ye ni ko ye nye duma ni ye nja nye ma bi ye di skane ma be ya go papa ba o say kwa pa ye 1 year na kwan na so do my friend akata be kwan no pa first light awe o magari mo pani say sa contractor no so mun tell you ya o mo man ko ye finance na mo so balance ya me say o ma pa ya ma
Meda say no wadu chire me ba to ma hai. Me ba. Yes sir.
Hey. We are not supposed to.
En kan so yeti o.
And I suppose you are quite a crack at this. But Nerika, my men check you pick a boa. I mean, tell you like a tether and whatever set to a house. They were funny, also put of a papa. But Babu was in a bottom grassroots. You don't have the call. You mean, yeah, 8 minutes every time my end. Oh, I'm not going to for a DC woman. Yeah, or DC as before. Man, what can I do? Now, the back Ghana for my Kuba Kaya, and I don't go to Fado. Okay, what's a side girls and seven? One source of Ghana. If you're back to that, no, go for Chade, Senanado, and then on that's a tail with us. I said, can you write a Brahman Mahabadia? And then come on,
Okay, meda say my main fan is so me ba to ma ha. Oh, we every so ma me fa we. Me ba to mo ha.
Yeah, what about try?
Na me ado bako yeti o.
You me din the case travel fail me trophy on both my take you appeal. By Yari, debut tree na we and now the tree super. Na ya obeka sembi. Me na me be kan kama bo mfiu. Na ya obeka tree ka se bi se. Mahama mpo ai nyantum na nya ekufado na beji atum.
Me and go can ya. We got some Madina them.
We say Cratchy, well what your madness so now many am ko kan na waka kan no free.
And you what in America.
That's it's good. Mate. Yen to us so nim say ye had yen kaka se fi o kaka se fi an ye ma ho kwan ma won kan ti what you madness so me das me das
me pa o chewo and before us mo ko school mo anyim woman pa go sia te obi ka say it ban happy say there me ba do the back ka sa ma ye ga asema wo dia say you papa for do bi na you be say me get one asem no de mo ye na on the mind na de no so wanya ntumo abanse na wo be si office e wo nkapo ni man ha so to ba be company bi na the company won yan tumo wo man kwa so me gbe sa company na wo be ma kwa na be gbe office wo dia say yi papa ku for no wo dia de na tum asika wo pe de bo man na hu ya no nye se bi ase bi o man ka na fu na hu ya no eti ma je ntia so wo yeso mo ntumi nka na yi papa ku wo be gege atu mo se me ma ware me ma mia ware mia no wo je tumo wo ma kwa wo be si wo office wa ha na Mr. MDC appointees and near how a kumsi for cat a tuna or tune to the tino home. It is a tune or clean as a cool beer and car. Obama party on that no part of Ancosia. The MDC in full of more parliament is so much mammy went to one. Yeah, and Mr. Follow a beer. Can you actually some of Papa?
Okay, but that's but that's see I know what you interested. Me ba cho me mo ha. Me ba cho ma ha.
Hello.
Yes sir.
Magari.
Yet you.
Yeah, me ba cho phone am say.
Okay.
No, Magari ye di kan no. Ami fa chiama. And before ya. And I be everybody so entity as out in ya but what you give person one so and I to put ya on supreme mami to no me my girl yeah ya college ya kasama MPP any entity for na even yan my ya favorite the BD say we trans ya that we na e pass ya say gay both NDC MPP in college and that ya pension na na kufa do so and yan fair cause say obe trans say the say cause no media the strength say I'm a teacher from my office not to Ghana. I say Tessa I am currently starting on the office that area. You must straight in the office and home make sure they come back to and yes and because they empty before yes or this year yeah no yes now chima everyone yeah na ye tia cardinal and I'm saying me can me brothers and this for the and to say penny for people back for this study and the next day my penny on your president in Ghana by the way say you knew that to say I could have on finish side in the battle no be continue carpet never share how many years to my year you know at the very quite
okay
any about we pa the next day penny for the one pound and trust not had the money in so Ghana
but that's it mami fa last caller beba choma
Yes sir.
You too Mr. Gotti.
So that's my girl. No, I couldn't.
Mr. Gotti, but on this. Yeah, you better say.
My girl, you are so on. Yes, you were not between Amawasia. Who's that Bonocono? Nana, don't let you put that. The fact that what is the gun for? And you know what they get. What is that? Or how could that down? What are the two gun for? Master, a dear way, and let me and you go to what dear. Oh, Johnny, the south there. Gun of war, put it, that year, it is then a war for Kafan. Who say it is bound to happen? And I will say, I stop, well, what's why? You better say, I was gonna have. Who can say it's the agitator? It will happen. And now, at the end, back to our government. What I say, no tafata yeah oba somebody be mangwari oba no mangwari na na do yesla why you be papa go was here let's start go to na ko family e be to makana so
Medasi. Last one. Maha.
My just my Jerry.
But for mommy, it's you.
My Jerry, what were you, man? I'm a friend, more thing, and from my MP Kasanga, aka to be a baby picture. Then they can say, the honor was a just for a kind. We are proud of it. We know what coming. Then say you could run nearby a boy, a kind of yes, sir. Let me tell you from consistent, same way to say the girls and then the answer. No question, no more than some saying yes, a mamma. As I dare to be a what does I'm from you. There's a mamma, crowd, some of the quiet, and when you say, Mupa, dear, would have put down between consonant. And I wouldn't be the answer to between consonant. Why do that be a mother as I'm from the boom? It's a gun for mother wonder, and I want them to for the most of Panama.
Medasi. Hana bidi jumedi ni si. Medo bibi anse mo amofra ye medama se. Mo amo send messages here that se. And weche no so bi share yo Facebook o tie yen. Bi a went me send message. Yen beka ne se Nyankopon inhiraw. Na ye damase mo koso adamu tie. Me sorry de na ye kofie o. Be de aseda be makojo da me ado producer on the gina mechi. Margaret Abena Frema Bankro in charge of the social media handles in gina. And then weche no so no ye engineers on duty achu agbonene jare na aboaje ye da omase. Enyumere 7:30 ye the torchlight message to them na me the torchlight na me the ababe so na ye nyina ye de omene mo komo midin e de Mark Jerry OSEI AGYEMAN Ola Michael or the ye kofi dwumadi e na e ba beto also nya me shiro bibia
Utie oha extra punk no. Needs